Hello viewers, you're currently listening to the best high school podcast in Australia. I'm your host Nick Raful and I'm joined by Lucas Joquera from 9-5. Today we'll be talking about depression, but we are trying to spread awareness to this devastating illness which is thought to have caused many suicides in Australia. So Lucas, what are your thoughts on depression?
Well, at first, I thought it was just when you're upset. But now you're telling me it's an illness? Okay, so as far as the announcements, we have exam for week 6. Now I just want you guys to push our hardest to achieve the best marks for the last term.
Well, as you know, like all illnesses, there is a nature, signs and symptoms, possible treatment and some statistics. To help us with these topics, we have Dr. Travin here to give us some information on those topics.
Hello Nick, thank you for having me on the show today. And yes, I'm basically going to give you a quick rundown of what you need to know about depression, starting with the nature. Depression is an illness and a medical condition. This illness affects the way someone lives their life and who that they feel. There are many reasons for someone to get depression. Some will get it because of genetics, others will get it because they're going through a tough time.
So what are some signs and symptoms?
Some signs and symptoms are feeling extremely sad or tearful, disturbances to normal sleep patterns, loss of interest and motivation, feeling worthless or guilty, loss of pleasure in activities, anxiety, changes in appetite or weight, loss of sexual interest, physical aches and pains, impaired thinking or concentration.
So Doc, what are some therapy solutions that can be used for depression?
So there's individual therapy, which is where a doctor, psychologist or other health professional talks with the person about their symptoms and discusses alternative ways about thinking about them and managing them. There's also medication. We normally use antidepressants as they help control the symptoms of depression.
Sometimes I see these people on the TV where they're in groups. What's that called?
Yes, Nick. Well, that is called a community support program. This program should include information, accommodation, help in finding suitable work, training and education, psychological rehabilitation and mutual support groups. Understanding and acceptance by the community is also very important to getting better.
So, here are some statistics that I think are relevant towards depression. 1 million people in Australia currently suffer from depression and 2.3 million suffer from anxiety. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
In any year, 10,000 young Australians live with depression. Wow. Postnatal depression affects 14% of new mothers in Australia. The prevalence of depression in an Australian sample group increased in the 10 years to 2008 from 6.8% to 10.3%.
Wow.
Depression and anxiety affect 1 in 7 and 1 in 4 people, respectively, at the same point in their lives. Depression will be second only to heart disease as the leading medical cause of death and disability within 20 years. Thanks for listening to this episode. If you ever find yourself in need of help, call the Kills Helpline at 1-800-551-800 and the lifeline is 13 11 14. Thank you and we're off.